let's get some jams going. There we go. And welcome on back, guys. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. And yeah, today we are mixing down some tracks. I got 3 beats picked out. I think this is gonna be pretty slick. We got a lot of really good tracks to mix down today. But big exciting announcement, guys. My new EP drops at midnight tonight. Thinking of you. Oh, it's just lovely stuff. So yeah, if you're looking to catch the new release, man, I saw that this got like 73 pre-saves. It seems like people are pretty excited about this project. I'm excited about it. If you guys are trying to catch it as well, it drops at midnight tonight on Spotify. TapDaddy on Spotify. Thinking of you. I'll just drop a little link to this album in case if you would like to also be one of the first people to hear this when it drops. Boom, there we go. All right, but man, we should just like dive in with the beats. I've got like 3 really good beats that I'm excited to mix down today. I have a feeling it's gonna be a dense mix session, honestly. And you know, of course, we're trying to do kind of light mixes, just kind of brushing these up for BeatStars, you know. But I want to do a good job regardless, right? I want these to come out sounding immaculate regardless. So, man, I was almost having some issues with some of these. The new Splice Instruments plugin was kind of giving me some issues earlier, but I think I figured it out. I think it all is working now. Yeah, it's working now. Okay. So let's, first of all, just before we even give our first listen, let's give ourselves some headroom so we can start at a lower volume and grow from there. So we'll say 1, 2, 3. Now we're below 0. Now we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe something like that. Let's give it a listen and let's see what we're starting with here. So let's check it out. I kind of like the how the bass comes in, maybe not at the very beginning of the 8-bar phrase, but kind of midway. You know, like. So this should be actually a pretty relatively easy mix. I mean, these pieces fit together really nicely as is. I think that's really like, I don't know, one of the biggest benefits that I've found from becoming a mix engineer is it's really benefited my production. I feel like my sound selection nowadays is so much stronger in that I really am thinking ahead for the mix and kind of producing things in a way that, you know, kind of giving myself better ingredients that mix better with each other just naturally, you know? Like, I love how this guitar part sits on top of these chord chops. I like how low-key that bass is. I think we're going to keep that bass tucked in just right below that kick. We're also going to be doing a little bit of side chaining on this one, so you know, that's going to kind of change how we gain stage stuff a little bit. You know, we're going to have to like do a little bit of leveling here a bit differently once we have compression going on, you know, the side chaining. It's going to make the kick sound louder, basically. But anyways, let's dive in. I'm just yapping at this point. What the fuck am I doing? Let's just get to work, man. So first and foremost, first thing that I want to really bring forward is this guitar part. I think that could be a lot more prominent. I'm kind of thinking also we are probably going to want to compress this, and I want to bring it up, but I may as well kind of, you know, two birds, one stone. Let's compress it and bring it up, you know, get it to the volume that we feel comfortable with. I'm kind of split between maybe using an LA2A on this or trying it on the 1176. I want to hear just kind of like how a lead guitar sounds on the 1176. I'm not going to lie, I don't really mix down guitars too often. I think this even has some presets for guitar. Oops, not keys. I want to just see what they have here. Lead guitars, I think really what we'd be looking for. Okay, interesting. So they do give you like a lot of attack, little release. We'll probably adjust these things, but I was just curious to see kind of, I feel like presets are usually like kind of a guiding, like how they might, you know, be recommending for you to use the tool. What's up, Signature? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Hell yeah. How's your day going, dude? All right, let's just hear what this sounds like. Ooh, that does feel a little bit more bold. It's not really compressing a ton. I want to hear it. Ooh, yeah, maybe we don't need to compress that much, but kind of having this float somewhere. Oh yeah, as you turn up the ratio, you can definitely hear. Now, I think we want to keep it pretty gentle. Pretty gentle. And now let's lock in the level. We'll probably turn this down a bit. See, now we don't need as much volume, now that we've kind of fattened this with some compression. Okay, that sounds pretty good. We might even knock it down a decibel. Here we go. Hell yeah. Yeah, Signature says blessed. Thanks, bud. Oh, hell yeah. That's what I like to hear, man. God, I love this track, man. I can't wait to hear bars on this. And, you know, I think this little detail could definitely come forward. It's a little ambient, so getting, like, I don't know, we might have to EQ this a bit because it might be generating a lot more mid-range than we want. But let's... Okay. See, I feel like this could come up quite a bit. And I think we're going to actually kind of avoid compression on that. You know, mixing session tonight? Absolutely, man. I feel like, man, I've been kind of waiting all week to mix these down. I made 2 on Saturday that I just feel like are going to be incredible for bars, you know? So yeah, that's kind of the goal for today. We're just going to be mixing down 3 tracks, 4 BeatStars. And I feel like these are great beats for BeatStars, honestly. I feel like this track in particular is very, like, it's very macho man, but it's also kind of a sad track. It's good. I don't know. I look forward to hearing what artists do with these beats, you know? Okay. I might even bring this lead over to the right a little bit. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's a garbage truck outside making so much noise. All right. I think really what I want to do next, because this is going to change a lot of things for us. I think I want to start sidechaining whatever I want sidechained, and we're going to kind of figure that out piece by piece. Because that's going to affect how we have to level things. Okay, so we're going to... It's a real question. Do we include the snare in this sidechain? I'm not sure. I feel like the advantage of including snare in your sidechain, like when you're chaining to your chords and whatnot, is it kind of gives a little bit more heaviness on that snare hit. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Okay, we're going to start with our chops, these guys. So, let's get our glue compressor out. Here we go. Glue, audio effects, and we're going to set up a little side chain. Let's double the ratio. See, and this is where I think that we can now, before these side chains, make these chords a little bit more, give it more body by compressing it a little bit. This is where we'll use the LA2A. Ooh, that feels good. Let's also pull out an EQ. I want to look at a few things here. Okay, so yeah, lots of mid-range. That's really what we want. I want to see where this guitar is coming in. So mostly like... Okay. I think I kind of want to boost a little bit up here. But also, over here, we could kind of shift some of the heaviness down to the mid-range a bit by just kind of lowering around. Yeah, and we also need to take a look at this guy. See where this guy's coming in. Yeah, same area as the guitar. About 1,000 hertz is really where it's... And, you know, honestly, I feel like we're getting so much information down here that we really do not need nor want. What if we... Yeah, low pass. Or high pass, whatever you call it. It's a real question, though, of like, is that low-end information serving purpose? Because if it is, I don't want to remove it. Yeah, it feels like it's like a lot of stuff that's just not serving purpose, you know? So like, I'm thinking we at least kind of cut around 150 hertz and just try to keep it clean in the lows. Okay, and I'm curious, what if we also brought over, like, I don't think we're going to do this sidechain on the guitar part, but maybe this more ambient background part could be sidechained in the same way. And potentially this bass. Yeah, you see, that just helps make it feel a lot more uniform with the sample material. I like that. Shit, and you know, honestly, thinking of making it sound uniform, we may as well try on this guitar. We could, like, maybe get rid of this second one. Yeah, that feels a little bit more glued together. And we could probably bring this back. Okay. Woo, dude, this is so good. See, and I feel like we've got this sitting about right now. Like, that didn't take much time at all. I mean, we're only working with like 5 tracks. I want to understand a little bit more about what's going on in the EQ range for this guy, what it's serving. Okay, so there's like this bright range in here that I might want to emphasize a bit. Yeah, it's that piano layer. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Okay. And I think one of the last things we want to do here is give ourselves a nice curvy fade out. So we'll go -1, -3, -6. Kind of let it roll off from there. Take a look at our max peak. -6.06. Dude, that is solid. I like having about 6 decibels of headroom heading into the master. Like, I usually like to just kind of give myself room to, like, really, the way that you can increase the gain knobs in the Shadow Hills master compressor is really interesting. You can boost the optical compressor and the discrete compressor separately from one another, and they each kind of bring forth their own qualities. And so I like giving myself a little bit of room because I like to compress with the optical and the discrete, but then also how I raise those up in volume might kind of change, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the mastering, because man, we are flying through this. May as well take that lead so that we could spend extra time on some of these other tracks as well. Let's see. Shadow Hills master compressor. I'm also going to be very curious to see what like a little splash of Little Radiator might do to this track. I don't want to muddy it. That's the big thing. I feel like that's where I get into trouble. But God, I'm just yapping today, dude. I can't help myself. I've had a lot of coffee. All right. Okay, I want to find a section with the bass in here before I move on. Here we go. Oh, nice. Probably bring that discrete back a bit. Woo. Okay, let's start boosting these gain knobs, like I said, you know? Ooh, okay. I want to bring it back to this bass. Okay, I think that's all I'm willing to do on the discrete gain. Okay. Boy, this really glues it all together nicely. Man, I love the feel of these drums. That just sounds great. All right, let's pull out Little Radiator. Ooh. No. It's way too much. If we're sparing with this, I think it energizes the track pretty nicely. And I think we are going to include the noise. It's just adding a little bit of texture. Little last bit of bright texture to this. Let's listen through this. Let's get a max peak value. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out Yuling. There we go. Massive difference, the signature. Yeah, no, totally. I feel like Little Radiator has become my little weapon. You know? I love it, honestly. My problem is that I love it too much, and sometimes I let it a little bit too much Radiator in, and it just like muddies it, right? But a little can go a long ways, you know? Dude, this track is so cool. It's looking like our max peak is going to be minus 2.7. I like it. Okay. Let's get this up there. I think let's just try to raise the volume by 2.7, and we'll throw a limiter down just in case if it pops up a little bit above, but you know, I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried. Limiter, say true peak. We'll put the ceiling at 0. Okay. Let's run it back, and we're gonna just see if our max peak, you know, is at 0, if it sounds decent. See what our LUFS is. Starting to get up there in volume. Might need to pull our loudness meter out. I kind of screwed up our measurement of LUFS. Let's actually start that over. I want to get an accurate reading just to see how far we have to go. Really looking for around like minus 11 to minus 10. track. It's like 2 minutes, 50 seconds-ish. Oh no, minus 10 seconds, so like 240. That's a good track length. I like that. I think that's plenty of time for somebody to lay like a couple of verses, a hook. It's looking like we're at about minus 16 LUFS, so we definitely got a little ways to go. I think we can do that with the maximizer, no zone, and I'm also curious to maybe do a little EQing. I bet it might add, because this is a pretty rich and full track. I feel like Ozone's like, you know, it always likes to listen to your music and spit out an EQ. Most of the time it's wrong, but I do notice that sometimes it's a little bit more accurate when you're working with a track that sounds very full. So we'll find out. We'll find out. We'll adjust it if it's not what we like. Let's go grab that. Man, I'm flying through this mix. That's insane. This one was gonna be an easy one though. You know, it's 5 tracks long. It's a pretty simple beat. It sounds immaculate as is, honestly. Where we came into this one in a really good spot. All right. Okay, so loudness warning. This might get a little bit loud. Just warning you guys. Let's run it. I mean, this actually sounds pretty okay on this track. I usually hate when it lifts right above where I cut the snare. I think it's because it's got all this air that it's picking up here from the little radiator. We could set this down. But I do like this general, like, toning down of the lows. Like, in general, this is what I like a master EQ to look like, is it goes low up to high. Overall, just giving a little bit of a brighter sheen to the mix. Yeah, it's a little bit more dialed in and controlled sounding. Okay, now let's adjust this. True peak. I want to run this from the beginning because I want to hear what it sounds like at the different parts of the songs. I also want to get a LUFS reading before I start adjusting things too much. We might already be on it. We'll just see, you know. Really, I think the lowest I'll accept is minus 11.5 and the highest I'll accept is minus 9. So it got to be somewhere in there. But let's find out together. Oh yeah, we're totally gonna be good. In fact, it's more of a question of, is it gonna be too loud? If we hit this, like, we did this in like 35 minutes. That's insane. Being productive, I tell ya. A little bit of crackling. I want to try to. Oh shit! No. We could bring it down like about here. Let's use our ears. I kind of accidentally fucked that up for a second, but let's just use our ears and really lock this in. Besides, it looked like we had room to bring this down. Nice. Okay. We're going to run this back for realsies, and I think this will be the final adjustment. The fun part about mastering, listening to it 1,000 times. Signature. I just love these drums, man. I got some really knocky drums, really compressed in the 1176. It's like all attack and no release, and it's just smacking. Hell yeah. I think we really stuck the landing on this, man. That was an easy one. I think I got one more easy one, and then we're going to end on a really difficult one. I guess it won't be too difficult. We'll really see. It has potential to be difficult, but... Oh man, it looks like we're coming in at minus 10.5. I think that's so perfect. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, we got to do a save as. We did this so quickly, we didn't even get a chance to. Save live set as mix V1. All right. Boom. Dude, that is awesome. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of coffee, and then I will be right back. In the meantime, Thinking of You EP comes out at midnight tonight. I think it's already gotten like 73 pre-saves, so there seems to be some hype around it. Definitely catch it if you can. I think all of you guys are gonna really love this. It makes me happy. Anyways, here's Lilac Petals. I will be right back. I am back. Let's put the kibosh on that. Let's get our next Ableton Live project open. Let's see. We're doing 1038. This was the one I made right after this. Yes, save changes. I don't know what changes, but save them. Okay. All right, and God, I hope the Splice plugin is working okay on this next one too. I don't know, I was having some issues with it this morning. All right, let's first of all figure out if these Splice instruments are going to work for us. Yup. Okay. And were these... Oh, yeah, these were cut off. I don't know why those were cut off like that. But I think I do want them in the track. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, all of these are working. And it looks like, oh yeah, we do already have a little bit of headroom. Let's give ourselves a little bit more headroom. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. Cool. That should be plenty. Oh, I forgot I didn't get this guy with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think anyways. Well, we'll use our ears anyways, regardless. Now that sounds about where it was at. All right. Yeah, let's really give this a listen through. I mean, I think we're already pretty much hearing all the parts that we need to. But yeah, let's listen through. Let's kind of brainstorm a little strategy here. So this is a very vibrant I see we've already kind of done a little bit of our mixing here. We might bring that sidechain onto this guitar. Let's try that. But yeah, we did a little bit of mixing while we were producing this, it looks like. I love how the drums are sounding. That sounds great. We really compressed that snare. We got a little, yeah, we monoed it, cut the highs, decapitator, get a little punch in there. Yeah, the drums sound really slick. Let's hear this guitar with the sidechain on it. Yeah, just nice and gelled. Let's bring that guitar up a little bit. I'm kind of thinking we're going to do a little bit of compression on that guitar, kind of like we did last time with the 1176. I think that sounds pretty good on this lead. That, ooh, you see, that just feels so much more vibrant. I mean, it is raised in volume now, but we might go a little harder on this guy than we did in the last track, lifting that ratio up a little bit higher. Woo. Oh, dude. Okay, so let's focus in on these two guys here. I think this guy could be so much smaller. Like, you know, really make him quiet. Man, there is just like a ton of yard work stuff going on outside. I hear like weed whackers. Not an ideal situation to be mixing in. Whatever. We're gonna make do, man. We got things to do. Yeah. I might even try a little bit of compression on this guy. He's got a lot of like ambient reverb and stuff like that. Good God. There's just so much noise outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Stupid. All right. This one I really am, though. I think I'm going to use the LA2A. We're going to try to use this a little bit sparingly. We are going to raise the volume on this intentionally, but mostly I want to like raise the floor of this a little bit so we get a little bit more of that ambience in the background. You know, we're squeezing the dynamics of this, ideally raising the floor, raising that ambience. Yeah, but now we can probably bring this down because we did raise it by about 3 decibels. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, this guy's gonna get a little bit louder. might even give this little piano bit some spicy reverb. I think that would be, I don't know, something pretty grand. Might sound pretty cool here. I'm thinking let's pull out Super Plate. There's some cool stuff in Super Plate. Okay. Even just this default reverb sounds pretty clean on this guy. Pretty close to what I was looking for. Let's keep messing around though. Not enough. We could also do something more like yeah, that really gives a long tail. I'm actually thinking like let's go back to the default because that to me was sounding really slick. Is it? Yeah, default. Here we go. There we go. Let's get these little boops a little bit higher. Make it a little bit more boopy. Yeah, it is almost a bit too much. Okay, we'll bring it down a bit. There we go. Ooh. Alright. Oh, that's almost too much. Alright, let's bring that reverb down. That reverb is a bit too much. Just enough to kind of open it up. I think we do want this piano to be a little bit more of a smaller detail here. Let's bring it back to the beginning. Really feel our way through the track. So we don't have any bass in here. I'm not really too concerned about shaving off this low end information. We could give it a try though and see if it feels cleaner this way. Really doesn't make much of a difference here. I think it does kind of feel a little bit more defined with those lows cut. Let's also kind of play around with the EQ a bit. See what each part of this frequency range is serving. So, man, this mid-range I think is pretty important for this. It's really more of a question of which part of this mid-range. Might boost a little bit of the more like low mid-range. Yeah, Signature saying, yep, it does on the plucks. I got you. Let's see. Yeah, those plucks. Okay, I'm thinking we do a little boost like that, but we bring it down overall, like. Okay, yeah. Let's do a little save as. Pull the CQ out on this guitar. I think we do a slight boost, just a little bit above the first resonant, like around like the third or fourth resonant. Just kind of get some of that brightness forward. Let's consider the gain staging. Good God, if the people outside will ever shut up. Sorry. There's always so much noise going on around my apartment complex, man. Not ideal for mixing. That's okay. Yeah, I think we could maybe afford to bring this down by like 1 decibel. In fact, bring this down as well. Boy, we've really got a lot of headroom here. Oh, and I also want to just check these chops. I thought I heard a little. Yeah, we need to give ourselves a little bit of attack. I thought I heard a little bit of a clip. There we go. Dude, this is sounding nice and clean and tight. Notice that we didn't really space too many things in this, and it's because there's like not a lot going on at the same time. In fact, I think this track feels really good with everything a little bit more consuming the middle range. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Let's go ahead and start with the mastering process. We're gonna bust out that Shadow Hills again. Start sidechain on. Start getting these thresholds set. Okay, about here. Let's bring that discrete back a bit. Hearing a little click on the head of these. I thought I solved that. Wow, I really do have to give this quite a bit of attack. I gotta give it at least like 80 milliseconds. Maybe even a little bit more. And voila, the clicks are gone. Cool. Nice. All right, and now I think we can kind of do the same trick. I want to throw a little splash of Lil Radiator on here. See if it just kind of energizes the track, you know? Get it feeling good. Let's see. Ooh. That's a big difference. I actually do like this quite a bit with ooh, this feels good. The question is though, like where do we cross that line between it sounding richer and more engaged or more muddy and like destroyed, right? Because I feel like we have a lot of freedom here, but I don't want to get carried away with that freedom, you know? I feel like I've done that to myself too much. Let's see. Yeah, we'll turn that noise on. All right, let's let this run. He says, yep, one can go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, no doubt. I feel like it's that way with like so many VSTs or plugins that I like the sound of something and then I use it until I start noticing it in all of my masters and then I go, ah, fuck. Take that shit off. You know? I swear I see people go through that the most with like OTT. That's one that I see a lot of people like. They like the sound of OTT and then they use it on everything. And then they suddenly notice what it sounds like when you use way too much OTT on everything. And then you never make that mistake again. And then you're very hesitant and questioning yourself every time you reach for that OTT. You know, like, but I know this about myself, so I'm like trying to approach these things with caution and hindsight, you know, and like, I don't know, man. This is why mix engineers get paid the big bucks, because they've gone through these battles already. They know. All right. Well, I'm loving the sound of this. We're at minus 5.64. We're going to raise the volume, guys, by quite a bit, by 5.6 decibels, just to let you guys know. So just, you know, so you can adjust your volume if you need. Boom, 5.6. Cool. And let's run it. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to sound great. Yeah. We're getting there, man. Let's pull out our loudness meter. Let's see where we're at. Dude, we might already be there. What? Wait, let's run this from the beginning. We might not even need that maximizer. Let's see where we're at. This might even be too much. Holy shit. Saturation is doing so much for this master. Holy shit. Okay, I see that it just peaked at 0.04. We're going to go ahead and just slap a limiter on here just to save ourselves from any trouble we may run into, right? But let's go ahead and just put a limiter here. We're going to measure our LUFS because I think we might already be there. In fact, we may have overshot our target, which is kind of a good problem to have, right? Like, not bad. All right, let's run this from the beginning. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, if we're at like minus 8 LUFS on just the intro, we may have gone too far. doesn't get up above 9, I'm cool with it. Give ourselves a curvy fade out? No, we need to do that. We kind of flew through this super fast. I mean, shit, we're hitting good sounds though. Like, very, very happy with how these tracks are coming out today, you know? I feel like we got some really good ones for the guys on BeatStars. Oh, man. Yeah, these will definitely be coming out soon on my BeatStars. I believe I have it linked in the description. If you guys are trying to find some beats to rhyme, definitely go check out my collection. I got hundreds, dude. Hundreds. All right. Yeah, I think that we can call that pretty good. Let's just... Yeah. Man. But yeah, it landed below 9, so we're gonna keep it. How punishing these drums are. Just that snare, fucking, ooh, really compressed hit. Perfect. We stuck the landing. All right, I got one more beat. I want to mix down today. Let's go ahead and get it loading. This one I actually made on my Twitch stream. I never make beats on my Twitch stream, but we had a slow day, and I was just like, fuck it, I want to make a beat in front of y'all. So I did, and it came out really good. Or at least I think so. I think it came out sounding pretty awesome. If you guys don't know, I also stream over on Twitch. I do feedback streams every Wednesday. And I also do a rap cypher and a beat battle once a month. We just announced a new rap cypher and a new beat battle. So yeah, definitely swing by the Twitch, join the Discord if you want to get in on the feedback or the competitions. Super fun, man. Super fun. All right, we're going to go song 1016, I believe. Yeah. Save. Yes, we do want to save. There we go. Oh, man. All right, and I think I'm going to grab a little bit more coffee, as if I haven't had enough coffee today. Yeah, I'll play for you guys my most recent release, Beautiful Minds. But again, Thinking of You EP drops at midnight tonight. Definitely catch it if you can. I'm excited for this release. Anyways, Beautiful Minds. I hope you guys enjoy. There we go. I'll be 2 seconds while I go heat up some coffee. Be right back. Just in time. Perfect. I think I got these coffee breaks down. Okay. One more track, guys. One more track. And I think you guys will like this one. I hope that this works, though. I hope all of these, because I haven't tested it out on this computer yet. Let's find out together. Yeah, it seems like it. Really, the one that I'm curious about, also, let's get, okay, so positive. Okay, cool, it caught the right. Sometimes it gets the wrong preset when loading on a different machine. Cool. All right, let's bring everything down, first of all, and then we'll give it our first true listen. So it's about +2 on the it's about +2 on the max peak value. So let's bring everything down by 1 2. Okay, now we should be close to 0 dB. Now we go 1 2 3 4 5 6, something like that. Give ourselves plenty of headroom. All right, let's call this guy -8. I know that was probably a mistake. Let's say -8. Boom. Cool. All right, let's listen through this. I see I already mixed the drums down. I got some parallel compression going here. There might be a little bit of extra mixing that we want to do on the drums. I think I want to mono these guys. We might do a little bit of decapitator. Decapitator? I hardly know her. Sorry, it's terribly stupid. All right, let's bring it back here. Oh my gosh, man, they just won't shut up outside. There is just so much noise. All right. So, I want to just mono this, actually. Really just simplify it down, you know? So we're going to go mono. Nice. Okay. Now, let's do a little bit of decapitator. I don't know if I'm loving what that's doing to the snare, though. I'll tell you what I will do, though, because I liked what it was doing to the kick. Let's get the kick up. This guy. Let's throw some decapitator on it. Okay, and I'm kind of thinking... Now, I want to do a little boost after all of this in the low range. I'm not quite sure if I want to do this on like the track itself before it's fed into the parallel compression, or do I want to do this on the parallel compression itself? It's kind of a question. Well, let's try it on the track first. Oh yeah, that feels good. There we go. Just about like that, maybe a little lower. There we go. Okay, so now that we got that, I think we can start focusing in on the piano. I kind of want to set up a little bit of sidechain interaction, and we'll decide if it goes on much else other than the piano. What else we got here in like this intro? Oh, I see I already did a little bit of mixing on this. We compressed it, kind of bringing forward to those delays. let's go ahead and do a little save as. We're going to do a mix v1 save as. Mix v1. Boom. All right. Oh, man. All right. This track is sounding good. I'm like, man, I feel like I chose some easy ones today, ones that were kind of already sitting pretty nicely. But I think this one, though, we definitely have some work to do. I really want to get all this to really feel glued, you know? So I really brought forward that piano delay. I just turned up the piano here. I feel like this is sounding a lot more balanced now. Oh, I hear something I want to fix real quick. This transition note, I feel like the timing was a little bit odd, and I think we might want to make it a little bit more de-emphasized, basically. Yeah, that's just too far back. We'll get it a little bit closer. We don't need it, like, directly on. And I'm also thinking, like, this guy we could really set on the ground. Perfect. I like that. Okay. God, that like transition feels smooth. Buttery smooth. All right, let's get a little sidechain going here. We're going to duplicate out our drums. And yeah, we're going to we're not going to hear this guy, but we're going to again, you know, just the kick and the snare. I think we are going to want to keep that snare in there. So let's mute everything else. Make sure we got it right. And I think this one we don't want to send to the compressor. Cool. All right. We got something good here. All right. Glue compressors. Okay, and then this time, you see, this is where I would normally, like, maybe go back, put a compressor on the piano before the sidechain, just to, like, fatten it up, fill it out, you know, make the sidechain compression feel even more noticeable by giving the piano more body. But the thing is I feel like this piano sample is already feeling pretty compressed. So I think instead I'm gonna just kind of nudge up the volume of this piano a little bit, and we're not gonna compress it any further, but we are gonna try to bring it forward, because now that we have it kind of ducking behind the drums, it does feel a little bit quieter. We have subtracted some volume from it, you know. So yeah, let's just kind of try to get this right. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's take this. Let's try putting this sidechain on these strings. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need to put it on much else. I think we are going to try a little bit of compression on this sax, though, and we're going to do it after this reverb. We're going to kind of try to glue it in with the reverb a little bit. So let's see. I think the LA2A would be a pretty good compressor for this kind of what we're trying to do here. So we want to be kind of gentle with it, too. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could really tell on that tail. Just, it feels a little bit more vibrant. A little bit lifted. Yeah, that feels good. Now it is a little bit louder, though. We should slide it back into place. I feel like pretty much anytime you compress something, you're messing with the dynamics. You should, just kind of slow down, think about what volume do you really want it at. Because, it's really easy to accidentally just douse your mix with loudness bias, if every time you pull out a compressor, if you're not being mindful about the leveling. Oh, and I think we are going to bring this sidechain onto like these chords down here. I don't think we're going to do it on this synth lead. I considered it, but I think though these chords kind of have quite a bit of body to them, and that little sidechain interaction should feel pretty glued if we put it on these guys. Let's hear it. Nice. Oh, that feels good. this is sounding really good. Let's get this little flute part here. I think this might sound pretty good through an 1176 compressor. Or do we want to be that aggressive with it? I'm not sure. Let's try it first of all. We can always use the LA2A instead if we need something a little bit more gentler. Ooh, this does feel good. Let's start increasing the ratio, see how that feels. I'm thinking 8 felt the best. Oh, yeah. And let's give it a nice curvy fade out. Yeah. Give it a little bit of a curve on this fade out just to help that fade feel a little bit more full-bodied. Yeah, there we go. And we'll let the rest go from there. But that just kind of helps it feel a little bit more full on this fade out. Okay. Oh man. All right, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's really start thinking about things, but I feel like we've actually got, there's like, I was kind of worried about this mix because we do have a lot of these like small details, but we didn't have to do a ton of adjusting because I saw we did a little bit of mixing. Feels like, honestly, something that I notice about augmented mallets, all of the sounds in this plugin, is it feels like I don't have to touch much at all when working with these instruments. They're just very, very immaculate and vibrant and usually just hit in the mix pretty nicely. Shout out to Arturia. I feel like they're making really great instruments, See, it just like has so much vibrance to it. I feel like I don't have to do much to it. How's the strings here? Why do they sound so quiet suddenly? They feel incredibly quiet. Let's start bringing them back up into place. Oh, it's because I nudged the velocity. Okay, I understand. Okay, well, let's set it back into place where it needs to be. I feel like especially because we sidechained on it, it can afford to come up a little bit higher. Okay, I think this is sounding pretty good. that's sounding good. Let's give it a save. Might even bring these up a little bit. Gosh, that sounds good. Wait, why was my flute so quiet there? Is it because I'm like touching the velocity? Yeah, so stupid. In fact, that could probably come down now a little bit. Okay. Damn, and I think we pretty much got it. I mean, let's listen through. Let's listen through and let's just kind of see what we got going on here. I think this is pretty locked in now. I just thought of one last thing I want to do. One last adjustment. And it's really just like something pretty specific on the snare. I want to smooth the snare out before we start really maximizing our sound out in the master. Okay, let's find the pain point. It's somewhere in here. I think that's the pain point. Okay. Just like a little divot can go a long ways. There we go. Okay, I feel like this is sounding pretty ideal now. Oh man, I can't wait to hear how this sounds as we start to squeeze on the master with the compressor. I think this is going to sound very vibrant and Really cool. Okay. Yeah, that's sounding slick. All right. What's our max peak at? It's minus 5.09. That's great. That's a great place to be in going into the master. Let's pull out our Shadow Hills master compressor and let's work some magic here. I think this is gonna sound great. We got room to grow it a little bit. Sidechain enabled. Let's start setting the thresholds of both the optical compressor and the discrete compressor. There we go. Oh yeah, this is sound pretty slick. God, this is almost making me consider, can the drums come up like maybe 1 decibel? Let's turn this off for a second. Yeah, I think just nudging the drums up a little bit. Question is, at a loud volume, is this going to be overbearing? No, I think this sounds pretty slick. Ooh, nice. Now, I think we're going to pull out Low Radiator. I don't think we're going to go as extreme as we did in that last track, but let's see it. Let's be sparing with it. Yeah, you see, and this is where I'm really glad that we tamed down the snare a bit, because this definitely adds a little bit more harshness back into it. But I feel like we can get away with a lot more because of some of the EQing we did on that snare. So that works out pretty nicely. Let's bring it back a little bit more. God, I'm going back and forth on the gain staging of this drum. Maybe we do bring it back down, like 1 decibel. Now, let's leave the drums up there, but, you know, it makes me kind of question whether this needs to be a little bit louder. Back to our master. Take it off. Okay, yeah, this definitely benefits from coming up a little bit. All right. Yeah, this piano is feeling really loud. I feel like, you see, this is where I always get to. I get into the mastering, and as soon as I start touching the master with the compressor, I start to learn a lot more about how my track is leveled and maybe what needs to come up, what's sticking out. I feel like right now I'm hearing a lot more piano than I probably need. Go. What's up, Aiden? How you doing, man? Nice of you to pop in, dude. Did I overshoot it? Maybe a little. No, I think that's where it needs to be. Maybe this comes down a little bit. Okay. But yeah, Aiden says, it unfortunately turns out the girl who I was talking about last Thursday has a boyfriend. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Such is life, man. Such is life. Oh, man. He says, but I think I'm still gonna try to be friends with her. Hey, fair enough, man. You know, friends are hard to come by. May as well. All right, let me turn the master chain back on. But yeah, that is fair enough, man. That happens sometimes. Let's see. Here we go. This is sounding balanced, I think. Oh man, this is sound punchy. Okay. We're getting places. Alright, and let's keep an eye on our max peak volume. Minus 3.05, that's a good spot to be. Hell yeah, nice beat. Thank you, man. He says, sorry, I know I keep rambling about girls. That's totally fine, man. That's totally fine. Oh man, I'm sure you'll meet somebody else, you know. You know, there's this saying that girls are like potatoes. They grow everywhere. And there's a lot of them. Except for in Ireland. No, I'm kidding. Jokes! I got jokes. Minus 3.05. I think we're doing good. Right. I think we can raise this. Let's raise it by 3 decibels, and we'll measure our LUFS. We'll see kind of how far off we are. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull out our loudness meter. Boom. There we go. All right, let's hear this. Okay. So we're definitely gonna have a little ways to go, but it doesn't look too bad. I think for this one I would take about minus 11. How's it going? She says, I'm late as always, but I freaking made it. Hell yeah. Glad you popped in, Mammy. How's your day going? Hell yeah. You got here just in time to really hear this track come together. I think it's starting to come together. Signature says sounds good. Thank you, man. Yeah, Mammy's saying it sounds so good. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Oh man, yeah, I really like this beat. It's very jazzy. I was almost considering this one for Spotify. It's like right on the verge where it might land on a project somewhere, you know. Are you gonna add a bass? Nah, dude, we're past the production phase. It's a fair question, Aiden. I think, you know, sometimes I kind of like tracks that don't have bass because, I don't know, sometimes I feel like by purposefully excluding a bass in a track, sometimes it keeps the track kind of feeling light and breezy, you know? And you know, it kind of adds a little bit of weight to those kicks being that they're like the only things in the low end, you know? So it's kind of a subjective choice, you know. I feel like I have a lot of these boom bap beats that are just like completely without bass, which is kind of odd, but you know, Yeah, I see Mammy saying my day has been all right. Been doing some design work all afternoon. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. Are you like a graphic designer, or just are you just doing like personal graphic design work? I don't know, but that's always good. Sounds like a creative afternoon. Yeah. Aiden says fair. I've tried not adding bass before, but um it always just feels wrong. That's fair, man. That's fair. I feel like it really depends on the track. I would say situations where not having bass kind of works out is if you have a track that is kind of light and breezy. I would say certain hip hop beats benefit from it. Certain like lo-fi tracks and chill hop tracks, I think, kind of benefit from maybe not being encumbered by a bass. You can kind of keep it pretty light and chill. But I know like a lot of the music that you do is like kind of, either like kind of melodic R&B, a lot of stuff that is pretty bass heavy. So I think it would maybe make sense that you're typically leaning in with the bass. Yeah, he says, I tried to not have a bass on Forgetting You. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it works sometimes. It doesn't work other times. I feel like my biggest thing is trying to escape the, creative dogmas, I would say. By that, I mean, like, ways of doing things where you're like, I always have to do it this way. I always have to have a bass. I always have to do my drums like this. Like, I think that a trap that I fell into a lot as a much earlier producer was kind of getting set in my ways and always expecting to kind of do things certain ways. But it's like, kind of allowing yourself the freedom to go, yeah, this just sounds better without a bass, or maybe we don't need a bridge section or whatever, but I think that all kind of comes with experience though. All right. I think we are going to slap a maximizer on here. We're going to run some ozone on here. We'll let it generate its bullshit. We'll probably change it. But let's find out together. All right, let's get it in which section? Maybe this section right here with the sax, with the horns. Yeah, let's run it. High. Okay, loudness warning, by the way. Might get loud. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Oh, I don't like this. But yeah, I see Mammy saying, I do graphic design, but this is actual apparel design. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, she says there's this kosher fashion show that goes on every spring before the Kentucky Derby. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, and they have a different theme for it every year. I'm still in the beginning stages for working on my design though. That sounds awesome. What's the theme this year? I'm curious. I think we're gonna like maybe a little bit of lift over here could be cool, but not much. Okay, that's sounding better. Now let's fix our maximizer. I think we just need to get a read on what our LUFs are. So let's run this back, see what we got going here. Aiden says, by the way, my violin arrived. Oh, sick! since I barely had time to play it. But I think over time it's going to replace VST string patches. Oh, that'd be sick, man. Maybe not completely, though. I feel you. It's kind of like, you know, don't corner yourself out from hitting really good results, of course, right? But I mean, you should totally take the time to learn how to record really well with your violin. Because, man, you could probably hit some very virtuosic stuff if you're patient enough with it. Yeah, and I see Mammy saying this year the theme is Ancestors. It's pretty broad, but I have a good idea for my design. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, once we submit our packets, they notify us beginning of the year if they pick our designs for the actual show. Oh, that's awesome. Well, best of luck with it. I hope that yours gets picked. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Oh, man, that sounds cool. Coming in at minus 10.5. That is good. That is very good. Shit, I think we pretty much hit this. I want to hear it maybe one more time. I was yapping. But yeah. Oh man. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. But yeah, Aiden, when you do get recording your violin, you should definitely show off what you do in the feedback stream. I'd be very curious to hear what it sounds like, you know, recorded violin. I'd say biggest piece of advice, gain staging, you know, making sure that you set the levels on your microphone right before you're, you know, recording. That's super important. And I would also say minimizing room noise by surrounding yourself with soft surfaces. That's another really key point to like recording. But I think what's cool though is that by taking the time to learn to record yourself and your violin, I'm sure that you'll pick up like, you know, just good recording practices for anything, you know, whether it be violin, vocals, any other instruments that you might be trying to record. I think it's just, it's good experience that you pick up, you know? So anyways, let's hear this one more time. But I think we got something really good here. I want to save it as well. Practically what I do with the vocal recording. Absolutely, man. Signature. Oh, I love this sound, man. God, I love making music. I love producing music. I love mixing music. I love the whole process, man. It feels good. All right, well, shit. Thank you guys so much for keeping me company. Thank you, Signature, Aiden, Mammy. Thank you guys for popping in, keeping me company while I wrapped this track up. Thank you, Mammy. Yeah, this was a good one. I also, just real quick, while I got you guys here, again, just a little reminder, I got an EP dropping tonight in 6 hours and 46 minutes. Super excited for it. It's the Thinking of You EP. It's just lovely, lovely chill hop. And it's already got like 73 pre-saves. I'm really happy to see that there's a little bit of hype around this project. So I'm kind of nervous and very excited, for this to finally come out. But if you guys want to catch it with the rest of everybody else that pre-saved it, here's a little pre-save link if you're curious about the project, if you want to catch it when it drops tonight. Yeah, definitely pre-save it. It helps shows support for the project. So yeah, thank you to whoever pre-saves, I guess. But I think that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. So I'm off to go relax a little bit before I have to dive back into things, get prepared for the release tonight, get squaring away the last bits of work and whatnot. I know Mrs. Tap has a lot to do. She's always very busy on release night. She runs all of our marketing, so she's like hammering away at a bunch of stuff on release days. So I gotta show her moral support. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. My name is Tap, and until next time, happy producing. I'll see you guys later. Peace.